Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly Fate Weaver tonight, because tonight we are carrying on with our ongoing adventure playing Ryan Vernier's outstanding Gothic Fantasy RPG, Blackbirds. And with me tonight are the stars of the Truth in Ashes adventure. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight? First up, we've got Jeffrey.
Hi everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Kenyon Maddox, who walks the path of bow and blade, and he is a noble elklander.
Very nice. Next up is Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Naldo Fasari. He is a, highly educated orator who follows the path of charm and manipulation.
Very nice. Next up is our resident walker of the path of craft and expertise, Dave. And we'll be toasting Mo to start the session. To Mo.
Get it off right.
I was clearing my throat earlier, so I'm muted anyway. So, I'm Dave, and I'm playing Emerus Batch. He is a rustic commoner raised among the folk of the sinister Ashdown Woods, who was taught some old ways by his grandmother. He's an elklander who walks the path of shadow and subterfuge, strikes from the shadows with his shiv and garrote in battle, and is driven by rebellion.
Nice. Last, but certainly not least, having to follow that up, it's Andrew.
Fuck me. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew.
And we've just been demonetized. First 10
Andrew,
minutes, we gotta watch our language.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm Andrew, and I'm playing Tegwin Eads, another human elklander on the path of craft and expertise.
Very nice. So Will wasn't able to make it last session, maybe last two sessions, because you were on vacation, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Guys, what happens? What happened last time? Let me bring you on over to. I don't think I got everything. There we go. I want to bring you over to the visual reminder here. Let's see.
I take no credit for that little blurb intro thing. That's what Kev wrote when he made the characters.
Oh boy. Well done. In any event. Okay, let's see here. There we go.
Had I known it would drive Andrew to cursing, I would have just said.
Yeah. A good reminder. First 10 minutes, if we drop an F-bomb in the first 10 minutes, it's going to limit monetization of those streams.
Is that I thought you were like, because we swear all the time on this channel.
Gotta get past the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I will wait 10
So
minutes.
are we already effed?
I will see whether we were talking over one another, so I'm not sure if it will have picked it up, but I will be able to tell you as soon as we go. I mean, really, with what YouTube pays for, don't worry about it. But what happened last time, guys? I mean, honestly, none of us are doing this for the money anyway, really. So, oh no, our mansions. What will happen now, guys?
I don't recall ever getting a paycheck. I don't care. Wait a minute.
And I'm just thinking about the charity, yo.
Wait, what am I talking about?
Yes, Christmas is going to be a little lean this year.
So, did we start with the fight against the?
By the time
the
fight was over, the first fight was over, start of last session.
Yes.
We had a sigilite that we had to take care of.
Yeah. So I think, Naldo, you were there when you got in the fight with the other deserters or bandits or whoever they were.
Right.
Yeah. And then there was that bound sigilite that was with them. 2 sessions ago, the guys faced those bandits. It was a bit of a close thing with Emerus. Emerus got quite badly hurt.
Yeah.
Completely busted his jaw.
Got nearly to fisticuffs between the group. Emerus wanted to kill the prisoner. for legitimately logical reasons. This person's going to go off and tell them that we deserted. Someone's going to track us down. It's just, and if we keep them, we got to take care of them. So it's just, efficient to take care of them. But Tagwin and Kenyon were kind of not. Well, Tagwin was certainly against it. Kenyon was on the fence. So ultimately, Emrys took care of it anyway. But
Emrys had that conversation in his head, and it didn't turn out any different. So he just went ahead and tried to kill the guy.
Yeah.
And then the Sigilite, understandably, had some reservations about interacting with us any further, and started to make off, or to get Drew got defensive, was spoiling for a desperate fight, but clearly he was spent. So we eventually managed to convince him to join us, and let us try to. We were going to help him mend, but then all of a sudden he just goes poof, and he's healed.
It might have been someone mentioning visions and some other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, we were kind of honest with him, and that didn't go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It turns out he's very devout.
Yeah, he tried to kill an already heavily injured Emrys. Kenyon fought him to a position where he would, it was effectively like, suicide by cop type thing, where he attacked knowing that, or where he should have known that Kenyon would cut him down, and he tried to kill Emrys, so Kenyon did.
Yeah, I basically warned him, and then he did it anyway, and so.
Yeah. So the oh geez, and I just realized yeah, self-ending is another thing that in the first 10 minutes that'll get you demonetized. So there is no chance of this thing seeing a single dime of advertising money.
Cut. Reset. Let's go.
We learned that talking about. So I think we talked about in one of the opening sessions of a Rogue Trader session. We were doing a summary and we were talking about the murder-suicide thing, and I'm like, all right, so this is clearly a thing that they are listening to and preventing. It triggers the caution for advertisers. So that amber light we'll see as soon as we get to the end of the stream will be understandable. So that's what happened last time, and then the guys spent time doing some rekindling activities. So each, let me see here, Tagwin has repaired everyone's gear, so you can go ahead and mark your, I think you have a worn, I don't know, there's a worn or something on your sword, on your rapier.
Maybe that's under trappings?
I think it's under the, traits or something like that.
It wasn't under the combat that I saw.
No, it's not a thing you can toggle. You have to add it in.
Okay, so if I go and edit it, it would show up?
Exactly. It would have shown up there. If you click on your rapier as an attack, we can see what's in traits there.
Okay.
And then
that.
I think we were just manually adding it.
Turn fast. Yeah, see, you got damaged as a quality on there.
Yes, I do see that.
Yeah, you added that as a quality. So if you go in and edit it, take it out, because I think you got a sublime failure last time, if I remember.
Something happened.
Let's see here. You didn't suffer any injuries, so that's good. So it's really just a matter of Tagwin treating your if we're gonna treat you, Null. Kenyon, didn't you do the what's it called? The reverie?
Oh, the revelry.
Yeah, revelry. So I think you, for one, Naldo, you can reduce your condition level by 2. So your peril condition level.
Okay, that's what she said. Peril damage. Okay.
Yeah, peril condition can be reduced by 2.
I only needed it by 1, so I'm good
perfect.
on peril.
Okay, so that'll be recovered fully. And then, how injured are you right now?
I am seriously wounded.
Okay. Seriously is, let's see here. Because it actually uses levels in this game. Serious is 1, 2, 3 down. Okay. That is repairing weapons. There is healing. Let's see. I thought it was right around where injury was. Let's see. Where in the heck is your injuries? Sleeping. Here, binding wounds. So, you were down to 4. Tagwin, do you have any Theriac left?
No, I think she only had 1.
Oh, okay, right.
I have the
Theriac is for damage, not peril?
Not peril. Salmiak is for peril.
Okay, well, I have 3 doses of Theriac myself.
Oh.
There we go.
Does that help?
If you dose one dose of Theriac will reduce your damage condition by 1 during a rekindling. That'll be in addition to whatever treatment. So the treatment for healing the level of injury that Naldo is at, Tagwin, is challenging. So if you... Hi, sweetie. Anna says hi to everybody.
Hi, Anna.
Hey, Cooper.
Puppy.
Heal.
At challenging. Yeah. And you guys have 10... Look at that! All right. So then you can reduce your damage level by 1. Naldo, so you're down to standard. And then I believe... Let's see here. Overnight... I think it was 1 level.
I think we talked that last time, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, peril condition is only reduced by 1 when you're sleeping in unsafe places, like in the middle of the Iron Shale Hills. And natural healing. Where are you? To heal... I think that Emrys cleaned the bandages for you, because you need a bandage to clean or to treat the injuries. Here, sleep to recover from damage. After successfully sleeping in an unsafe place, it's 1 level. Hi, sorry.
Okay.
1 damage. So your damage will go down 1 more because you guys did get a good night's sleep.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think I'm at lightly wounded then.
Perfect. So again, you don't take any injuries for that. It's just that when you take, when you reach moderate, serious, or grievous, we then roll to see if you suffered any wounds.
Okay.
So, having gone through that, Naldo, any thoughts on the experience you have been through thus far? You were nearly... What you have seen and been exposed to something unlike anyone else has seen, and you have not yet spoken about that to anybody on, since you left Carrick. What we left our session with at the close was the fire dying down to just enough of an actual burning fire to hopefully keep wildlife at bay, but with low enough that it won't draw attention from other, either outriders or deserters. But you can see in the east of, because you guys are heading west, so it'll be the east of you, the eastern sky, like an early dawn, there is a orange hue to the sky. But we are well before dawn. What you are seeing is Carrick die. And Naldo, you more than anybody knows what lurks there.
Yeah.
So I think, why doesn't everyone, let's get some dice rolling here. Why doesn't everyone give us a challenging awareness check, please? We'll start around this campfire and then go from there. Nice. Nice. Emrys is the one with the highest PB, I think, as well. Right?
Awareness. Mine's 3.
But sublime success from. Oh no, this is actually in relation to you, Naldo. So it's Kenyon gets a sublime success on this. So Kenyon, you can. Before we do anything, Emrys needs to flip a fate coin.
Oh, he spent his fate last time.
Yeah, do you have a coin handy, Dave? Or something you can flip?
I have. Yeah, I've got a Blackbirds coin.
Nice. So which side do you want to call for getting your fate back?
Okay, so there's 2 sides to this Blackbirds coin. There's a skull on one side.
Yep.
And a crossed keys on the other.
Okay. Which one is getting your fate back?
Is the key to success is getting my fate back.
Makes sense to me. Go ahead and give it a flip.
I don't want any skulls, pretty much.
Yeah.
Keys? Success.
Nice! Your fate's back.
Nice.
Okay. Then, Kenyon, you can see, we've talked before in previous sessions about how different Naldo has seemed and has been acting since he met up with you guys in that barracks in order to effect the escape from doomed Carrick.
Right.
You can see his eyes are locked on the eastern horizon right now. All of you guys have looked over there, but he almost seems like his eyes are welling up, and you can see his hands are trembling. You've seen, whatever the Blackbird's understanding of like the psychological effect of war. Right, the whatever the Blackbird's equivalent of PTSD is, you have seen that in troops of yours before. It's just something that you would encounter as a member of the Hallowed Hounds. Naldo is who you've never known to display that before. He seems utterly traumatized. Naldo, what's going through your mind, if anything, right now, or are you just fixated on whatever's happening there or getting away from there, or what do you think?
I think probably the biggest thought is with the sacking and burning of the city, that whatever that was is consumed by smoke and fire.
Oh yeah, what if it's dead?
Yeah, that's really where his mind is.
And worse, what if it isn't?
Right. What if it isn't? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Kenyon, you can tell with a sublime success on a nat 1.
Yeah.
Like, you can just read that this is not. Yeah, there is something that Naldo has not told you, that's not told anyone, and it's as plain to you as. And I think actually Emrys and Tagwin, you both rolled well, so you're almost there. Like you're both picking up obviously something that is troubling Naldo. Kenny, you may have further insight. Do you think, Will, there's any, like, what further insight do you think he may get from that sublime success? Like, for instance, is there anything that might assist Naldo in either managing that, his symptoms, or some insight as to what might help him process it?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's recognizing that this is an after combat experience, and it's something pronounced for some people after engaging in some sort of either ghastly combat, or it could be when you discover like a gruesome scene.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he recognizes that that's what he's wrestling with. So perhaps he has some, not maybe so much specific words, but maybe more of a specific tone in his voice that he can talk to Naldo with.
Okay. So, Canyon, you would be with the sublime success. Will
I think that I would go. I think we already established that they had some kind of, alcohol around here. So I'm gonna go and get some, and I'm gonna bring it over, and I'm gonna say, and pour some for everyone, and say, Naldo, is there something you want to talk with us about? You seem troubled.
And he probably finally breaks his gaze to the east. And he closes his eyes, and you see this just... He's almost like, when he closes his eyes from there, he almost looks like he's aged 10 years. He just looks so much more older. And if that's just for a second, and then he opens his eyes back, and I don't know if I have words to describe what happened to me before we left.
Emrys, would you give us a wart cunning check at let me see here. Justifying my Fate Weaver screen once again. What'd you give us?
Cunning?
I think at routine. So and wart cunning would be alchemy, I think, is what you have got it.
Oh, right. Yeah,
trained for you, for this sheet.
At routine?
At routine, please, yeah.
Oh.
You want to fortune that?
Yeah. Let's try that again.
One more time with feeling.
This is routine.
Oh, that's so close.
So when he mentions that doesn't have words for it, there's a brief second where you think like...
Maybe there's something unnatural about this, but...
Yeah. But not... apart from the suspicion of that, like, broadest sense of what might... what might be bothering him. I think that you're also just recovering from your jaw being broken too, right? So,
and I was one injury level away from dying. So
perhaps you just your mind is elsewhere.
Was it too gruesome, friend?
What's going on? You are not yourself.
It was not natural. It was not of this world.
Oh. Can you describe it, or like what was this? After we broke up, we split up and we were going to make our way to the barracks?
Canyon, right. You can see his hands are beginning to tremble again.
Something to do with the vision?
So
I was going to say...
let me whisper something to you, Will.
The exact details.
Will can't remember, and we're all trying to pry it out of him. Come on, man.
He doesn't actually know. Yeah, exactly.
No, literally, I don't know.
We should have a no swearing disclaimer next time before we go online.
Oh, it happens. It's so rarely The few times where it has happened, it's always fucking me, right? Like, so we're teasing Andrew. Like, don't worry about it at all. It's not. Yeah. Let's see here.
If we were sitting around a table playing right now, this is where Andrew would probably throw some like chips or something at. Bringing it up again.
100%.
And then I would just eat those chips. And I'd be like, whatever.
Okay.
Next time, throw chocolate.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And remember, in this world, the gods, prior to the extinguishing, they were very distant as well. Like the gods would sometimes manifest, but in mysterious and whatnot ways. The Carcass Nations and the Republic of Erebos was never a world where the gods were. It's not like they have priests the way they do in like Forgotten Realms or something like that. The gods are distant and mercurial and sometimes primordial. So to have over the last few years these things starting to manifest and the servants of gods going mad, like it's with every passing month the world gets more mad and more obviously it feels like the world is fraying and beginning to come apart. Even the seasons do not follow their order any longer.
Have you ever thought how something as ornate as Carrick could end up like this? What could cause something like this? I've seen the truth. It was not done just by men.
What do you mean?
There is something. What would be the word? What's There's something. I think the only thing he can come up with is unholy. That's the only real word he can conceptualize right now to describe what he's seeing. But there's something that was unholy. It was unclean. There we go. There's a better word. Unclean.
His voice is just heavy with emotion as well. At this is obviously something that is a struggle for him to speak of. And Naldo, to the point, you also feel changed by that. You may remember you've got that one trait.
Yeah.
So when you are around supernatural things, you may now have an awareness of them that you did not before. A door has been opened for you that cannot be closed.
I am no longer clean because of it.
His hands, I think, are probably no longer shaking as he's just wringing them.
I think he probably, at that point, when he says that, I think he kind of collapsed into like an Indian position, kind of cross-legged position, and just his head falls onto his chest, and he just breathes heavily and raggedly.
A wolf howls off in the distance.
Is there anything we can do for you?
I think he takes a deep breath and raises his head and looks at Kenyon. Just know that there's more than the mortal out here trying to kill you. Just
Out
know
here.
that.
And he looks around the woods. Is this something that has followed us?
In this material world,
The
there are
odd
greater things.
is the realm of the. Is it the Fade?
Don't get me lying.
I'm trying to remember the name of the. The odd is. Let's see here. Yeah. The odd, yeah. And then the outsiders are who Theurges call. The spellcasters in this game, for the most part, except for wart cunning workers, they call spirits and bind them. They are outsiders, but some might call them demons.
Wart cunning is more connected to the land, right?
Correct. That is the traditional practicing of folk magic and folk wisdom.
Right.
It isn't a matter of binding yourself to some outsider and then giving up or binding your soul in a way to these things through pacts.
So it would appear more wholesome or rustic or not like...
Absolutely. You're giving up nothing. There's nothing that you're offering up to outsiders in order to gain power. Wart cunning is knowing how to work the secret rules of the world, as it were.
Okay.
Yeah, so
It's
wart
more
cunning.
druidic.
The sigillites, like what you faced last time, they don't make a distinction between those two, but there's a clear distinction between the two. One of those has a degree of corrupting influence on your soul, which is being a theurge, and also runs the risk of shattering the world and making, when you fail with a odd-weft check to try and cast a spell, it can have all sorts of crazy things and effects. Think of Warhammer 40k Psychers. It's very similar to that, is how odd-weft can go wrong. Wart cunning isn't like that.
Not quite wild magic, but similar?
Wild magic is what odd-weft would be like, very similar,
Right.
in the sense of the ways it can go wrong.
It's like warlock, sorcerer versus druid, is the way I think of it.
Yeah, that's a very fair. Yeah, like the if you take those as broad thematic things, that is definitely
just thematically. Yeah, that's what it sounded like to me.
yeah.
Okay.
Wart cunning is not as dramatic and often takes longer, but it doesn't have any of the risks that come with being a theurg. You're not followed around by some terrible demon that looks like a child, or some other, similarly awful thing. A two-headed dog that only speaks backwards and only you can see. Or whatever other terrible, vision you want to have. That you have to placate with offerings, either in the form of things or actions. Yeah.
Blood.
Sounds kind of like George's Alley. I mean...
It doesn't seem like we've got a theurg in the party yet, and George does return next week.
Uh-huh. All right.
And I believe that last time George played a theurg, he had a spell go wrong that caused someone to be suffering under terrible curse for a time.
Surely George didn't have a spell go wrong.
Or I never made a pact with some sort of evil denizen.
It's going to be a bit of a stretch for him to roleplay it. I don't doubt.
We might have to ask him to really pull up his pants on that one.
Yeah.
Try something different.
Put that acting hat on.
So Naldo, does that answer? I guess
damage.
for Will, does that answer your question about the unnatural or the spells or whatnot?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's yeah, I get it. It's very much what he's experienced, and what he was telling, Kenyon. It's not, that tree over there that fell down and is slowly decaying. It's a decay of the soul, the spirit, the inside. That's what it is. It is it's an unnatural decay.
Recall the Betrayer's War has gone on for years now too, and there's not a single community in Elkland that has not been touched by this persisting and changing series of civil conflicts. Naldo, is it just all for nothing? Is it all something else causing all of Elkland to dance and bleed to its terrible tune?
There's something rotten.
So
There's a crawling pestilence.
Now that he's done all this describing it, is it possible that I might be able to understand better by you make another check to try and figure it out? Before it was just a hunch. Now it's...
yeah, sure. Yeah, I'd buy that. So why don't you give us another routine wart cunning? So be alchemy, but wart cunning. I wonder if I can rename it on your character sheet. I might be able to go in code and do it. Not code, but like visionary.
Oh, yeah.
So what do
Nice.
you would know, Emrys, that, as the world has always been populated by certain supernatural things that are largely kept, on the other side of the odd until the unkindling and those bounds or those walls were shattered. They were largely on one side. There have been supernatural things that serve the various gods of what are now the Carcass nations. But since the start of the Betrayer's War or over the course of it, all order and structure, it's not just a matter of that every kingdom and every baron and every county and every, dukedom or duchy, it's not just that every single one of these has fallen into internal conflict or fought with one another and then allied to fight another and then betrayed one another. It's that the supernatural order that did govern things, where certain things would be servants and agents of gods, even they seem to have gone mad. What he's described, like, you can think of malevolent spirits, but I don't think that you would have thought of something on the scale that might influence armies could be possible or would manifest the way it did. But if Naldo says there is some powerful rogue agent of a god who have now fallen silent even to the most devoted of their servants, if that is what is driving the death of this city and perhaps some larger conflict, what hope does anyone have? Who do you appeal to when the right hand of God turns against you?
Crap, I don't know if I even want to tell anybody that.
So Emrys, maybe you just get real quiet.
Yeah, I think he's like, he gets this realization, and then he's like, this might be better not shared.
I think you have a better idea of how terrified he may be.
Yeah. I think he goes over to Naldo, and he doesn't know him as well as he knows some of the others. Puts his cup up to, like, clink glasses or whatever, and goes, There are many terrifying things in this world. I believe you've seen one of them. But take hope. You have walked away. And you breathe still. There's still something that we may all do, and we did escape the city.
Now that's an interesting point. If Naldo did see something, even if something is a fraction, infinitesimally small fraction of a god, mortal beings are not supposed to be in the presence of gods because it just would break them. And brushing up against something that has a fraction of that power would similarly damage or fray someone. But there's also nothing in the world that would... This shared vision you had and the warning that you all had, that also is not natural.
No, that actually leads Emerus to believe that there is an opposing force that guided us out of the city. So if there's this terrifying otherworldly force that Naldo saw and twisted his perception of the world, that perhaps there's an alternate force that helped guide us with the vision to get out of the city and serve some purpose still. He hasn't quite figured that out, or what to say or how to explain it to the group, but that's kind of what he's thinking.
You need to say something like that, because that would help.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. So,
Okay.
So he'll like to, follow up with what he just told Naldo about the, we're still breathing. He's like, while you may have seen some kind of malevolent entity or force that is behind the destruction of the city, the corruption of men, what about the vision we all shared? Where did that come from? Is one of the things that my grand taught me was about balance, and it's mostly in nature. But wouldn't it make sense that if there is a great evil working terrible things, that perhaps something that opposes it exists?
What
And
did
perhaps-
you see during the fight too, Emerus?
Oh, yeah, he saw the three faiths.
The Norns.
Oh,
Yeah, the Norns guided me in the fight. Clearly there is some path we are on for a reason. Someone or something has guided us out of the city, helped us stay alive. We now have resources. We carry on with our original plan, and God's Kenyon, I hope that this Black Tower you lead us to can answer some questions.
Indeed. I just hope to never run into what you have seen.
as do I. We must keep a light burning. And you can tell that Naldo is a lot calmer than he was. Especially after hearing what Emerus had to say. Because as long as there is light, darkness is abated.
Do you guys discuss anything else before you turn in for the evening?
I was going to ask you, Kev, because we've known each other for a while, and we probably see each other fairly often.
Yep.
But does that count for this? Here's a drop a giant text block.
Yeah, a wall of text.
Yeah, you guys you've been serving all together in close enough proximity for more than a week, so you would all qualify for this, for that wart cunning.
So, I know not a lot. I know a fraction of what my gran told me. And there is one ritual that I could perform tonight, and it could be a boon on us should it work, and make it easier for our next day's travel. That said, it could also go awry. There's always a chance of things not going well when you're doing wart cunning. I'm also feeling a little tired and worn out, so I'm not sure maybe tonight's the best night to do it, but I wanted to throw it out there. It's really just breaking bread with each other and reconnecting with the land and trying to get the blessings of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's see, it gives any tests, talents, or techniques used to aid another companion in the group get plus 10 when the dusking is invoked.
And that goes until your next rekindling.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, okay. So basically just whatever the difficulty would be, just knock it down 10, Kevin?
Well, anything
that would be the best way to handle it?
Mechanically, yeah, if he's successful, and because the thing is, if he gets a crit success, it's plus 20, and a sublime is plus 30. Okay. On a crit fail, the ghosts of those that you have slain haunt them for the following day.
Oh, God. We just killed a lot of people.
But that only affects me.
Yeah, that only affects him.
So, like, the...
Oh, go for it.
It's like, well, if only you're going to be screwed on this, then...
Yeah, and let's see here. So the...
Sublime failure is a little worse.
So it's actually only 2 AP. You could do it first thing in the morning, then it would last until the sun sets and rises again. Is that right? Yeah, because you do it during your rekindling, and then it until the sun sets, and then rises again. So it would give you all the way till the next morning.
So 24 hours, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. You cast it during the rekindling.
Oh, wait, sorry. Crit failure. The ghosts of those the group has slain haunt them for the following day. Group is at minus 10 to skill tests for the duration of the ward cunning spell. On a sublime failure, as a critical failure, and none of those who were recipients of this magic can benefit from dusking for one full cycle of the moon. So I'm guessing that's like from the moon shield, got 1 month?
Factually. No, because hold on, the cycle of the moon's more. Is it a month?
Or is that moon shield?
Well, that might be a cutting and pasting error, because their Roll20 does some funny things when you cut and paste from a PDF sometimes. Right. So let me just double check. It is dusking.
The caster shares bread. So the description: the caster shares bread and passes into slumber near their companions, while thinking of the deeds they have done together during the night. All share a dream that gives them advantages in the trials ahead.
Oh Lord, are we fixing to have another dream episode?
Oh, you're gonna blame me for the one that you had?
No, I'm just thinking about the Night Below campaign when we all got blind. Do you not remember?
I mean, to be fair, Will, it's been a minute since we've been in that campaign.
It's because of the shield.
Yes, I remember the dreams. 9 times out of 10, except for I think once, when Kevin has a dream scenario, it's never good.
What shield is the name of one of the 2 moons? So that is because there's 2 moons in the Blackbird setting.
I mean, put forward a motion that we stop calling them dreams and just admit they're always nightmares.
Well, I tell people that all the time. People say live in the dream. I said nightmares are dreams.
So, what do you guys think? Are you going to try that again? The reason I mentioned the morning, Emrys, is that you'll have benefited from your recovery to your peril thresholds or your peril conditions. Yeah. So you'll be less affected by the morning. I think maybe are you fully recovered by morning?
No, I'm not quite fully recovered. We could also do it the next day. So it says the caster shares bread and passes into slumber near their companions while thinking of the deed. So I'm assuming that's like part of the going to bed, rekindling.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Think about it. Maybe tomorrow night. We've had a little more rest.
Okay. Anything else before you guys turn in for the evening?
Great evils haunt the lands.
Yeah, but that's delightful. Huh. Can't wait to try to get some sleep.
Watch out for snakes.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have like a watch. We haven't done this yet.
Yeah, you guys have.
Normally there's a watch in the city, and now it burns. So,
evening passes, and you all once again dream of the Black Tower. In place of the dream that you had before with the city and blood, you have a dream of these hills. And, Tagwin, would you mind, let me take a look at your traits here. Okay. Excuse me. Naldo, would you give us a... I think a resolve check, please.
Okay.
This will be at... let's make it routine.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey, there we go.
Okay. So what, you dreamed, Naldo, like the others, of the Iron Shell Hills, of mists coming down into them, a black tower in the distance, seemingly calling you. And Naldo, you also dreamt of a cabin somewhere in the hills. It's not somewhere you've ever seen before, and it's not something that you don't recognize it. You've never thought of such a thing before. The only thing you know is the door. The door was broken.
Mm-hmm.
So, morning comes, and the smell of ash and the peculiar burning scent of massive pyres fills your nostrils. The sun rises in the east and reveals, streaking across that pink sky, greasy tendrils of black smoke. You know the fat of bodies burned up in mass graves. You've seen it before. I think you've never been so certain that so many of your comrades are in those pits. What do you guys do? It'll still be several days until you reach, you get closer to where the Black Tower is.
I don't know about you, but I'm not very hungry for breakfast. Maybe we journey on a bit before we eat.
Yeah. I
little
agree.
distance.
I want to. Yeah.
Yep, I'm up for an early start.
Yeah, the sooner we get away from here, the better.
All right. You grab what you can. I will tell you, so remember, in this game, there isn't like coinage or whatnot. We just sort of abstract it either with access through your patron level or through something called spoils, which you can cash in on a kind of one-time basis to get a patronage level. If you're grabbing the gear and loot and whatnot from here, you can assume it is a patronage 4. So you have 4 worth of spoils. If someone wants to record that somewhere.
Let's see.
That'd be on trappings.
Yeah, you could put it in there just as spoils in and put 4 down for that. All right. So we get to travel once again, guys.
Dave, roll for weather.
I love me some travel rules. Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right, so you may recall that that's injuries. That's movement actions. Overland. Here we go, guys. So here is what you can do. It's still probably another 3 or 4 days until you reach Black Tower. And the terrain is hill, so it's hard terrain. So minus 20. You can... what are we doing here? Short stretch. Let me see here. Let's make this a medium stretch journey for you. So, the roles that you guys will want to be filling again once again are Trailblazer, who uses either folklore or navigation. Quartermaster, who uses heal or survival, or the Scout, who uses awareness or stealth. Trailblazer is folklore or navigation, Quartermaster, heal or survival, Scout, awareness or stealth. Because there are 4 of you, one person can assist another person. So remember that rolls 1d10, and then you can sub that in as the tens digit of the other person's roll.
No, I could probably do the quarter. Oh, go ahead.
I'll go ahead, try to do.
I just thought I could probably do the quartermaster role.
And I think I did the Trailblazer last time. Because I've got both stealth and awareness.
Okay.
And I think
I'm not trained in folklore, but it's an intelligence skill, so it's a flip to succeed for me. Because I think we have done that one time when
I think you and Kenyon paired up and worked together on the other one.
Yeah, I'm not trained in any of them.
Guys, here's notes tab if you'd like. I forgot to give it to you last time. So if you want to keep track of who's doing what.
Oh.
That might be, save us the same conversation.
I was looking at it going, okay, wait a minute, what?
You're thinking about it every time, yeah.
Yeah. So Trailblazer, Quartermaster, and Scout.
It's only 3 real rolls to worry about.
So Quartermaster, I'm going to put down Tagwin. And you can choose one of the 2. Trailblazing.
Trailblazer, Quartermaster, Scout.
Trailblazer.
Well,
I think that's what I did. I think that's the folklore one.
Okay, Naldo with assistance.
Naldo's got flip to succeed, so he's already got a pretty good, if it's an intelligence skill, he's already got a pretty good chance.
Okay. Kenyon, do you have awareness or stealth or? You want
My awareness is a 44. My stealth is a 43. So I'm about the same in both of those.
Okay.
So I could help either of you.
Yeah, you can help me with scouting if you want.
Sure.
Okay, and then Tagwin, you're gonna be quartermaster.
Yeah.
It seems the thing we should be most cautious about.
Okay. So then, let's set out into the woods. Let me
Oh no.
grab everybody. That is absolutely the response I want. Oh, God.
Oh no.
The woods.
When does this ever
Wolves,
end well?
bears. Something bad's out there.
Yep. I don't know if you
Fires.
remember fighting wolves before, Jeff, but in Blackbirds, I can spend misfortune for them to howl and bring in reinforcements.
Oh, I do remember that now.
I seem to remember you enjoying that a lot last time.
Oh yeah, you're like spending the points to like stay alive, and then they just bring more and more in.
It was pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you were setting out once again into the woods. So, first up will be the Trailblazer.
Oh, okay.
So, would you give us a folklore check at... hold on, I think it's challenging. No, it's hard.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Come on. Ugh.
That is flipped to success, but still not
Yeah.
good enough. You want to fortune point that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and give a fortune point. I'm gonna see if I can
damn.
get a little bit.
Those wolves are getting happier. All right, so let's see here. That's not a critical failure, so at least it's that. On a failure, the terrain worsens by 1 step negatively for this stretch. So, Naldo, I mean, I think it seems like you're so keen on avoiding any of the, any chance of them running into them. You're taking them so much through bushwhacking that it is even more, yeah, it is not a pleasant thing. So, would everyone give us a endure check, please? This will be, oh, sorry, not endure. This will be toughness.
Toughness, okay.
Toughness check at arduous.
Oh, good lord.
Yep. I have faith in you guys. That faith was misplaced.
Yes, it was, very much so. Of course, you look like what I had to get.
Ron.
Yeah, it's...
Oh my goodness.
Anyone want to fortune point that? Or...
Yeah, I got a 30% chance.
That's pretty good. Is that at arduous?
Yeah, I took this.
Oh, great.
I upgraded it, and I also upgraded my BB.
Oh, nice.
That's the two things I did, so I'm actually ready for this wilderness.
Yep. So
travel.
Go right ahead. If you want to re-roll, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I got a 30% chance. No, it's horrible.
Okay. So, as a result, let's roll some peril for you guys. So, I'll just do one by one, and I'll roll it in chat. Let me go plus 2. All right, so Kenyon, 11 compared to your peril threshold.
Okay. Peril combat. That's exactly my level 2.
Okay, so you go down by 2. Naldo, 12 against your peril threshold.
So that's plus 4. So that would be, I think that's 2.
Is that, what is your peril threshold?
It's 8.
8. Second one would be 14 then.
Right. Okay, so it's just the 1 then.
Just the 1, yeah. It only if it meets or exceeds it.
Got it.
Amorous, 13. So 2 down. And finally, Tagwin, 15.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm unhindered, so my peril threshold is a 9, like at the first level.
Yeah. So
then
remember, guys, the way the
15 is the
threshold
number-
works is like it doesn't change how far down your conditions are. Your threshold is always going to be what it is. It just tells us how many steps down you would go from there. So you're saying,
Right. So 15 is the number on my second. So it's
So you go down by 2
9,
then.
15. So I go down by 2.
yeah,
Because it meets or exceeds.
yeah. So that is
Oh.
that is tough. This has been a very difficult day of travel for each of you. Your conditions have gone down, but to be honest, at only 2 levels each, it's not as bad as it could have been. Next, our quartermaster. Would you like Tagwin to make a heal or a survival check?
So now, just to be, because I'm not sure exactly how it impacts. So now I'm at ignore 1 skill rank. Is
Yep.
that universal, or is that in a specific?
It's for all of your things, but it's that it ignores it. It's not that it subtracts from any roll.
Okay, so I just don't get the
Exactly. You just don't get the
skill.
benefit of
So
your
if I'm
training.
skilled in something, I don't get like my apprentice plus 10. That just doesn't count.
Yeah,
for instance.
and I think your sheet
Okay.
automatically tracks that, so you don't need to apply like a penalty.
That
or-
would be fantastic.
It's
Okay.
pretty awesome that way.
So you said I have the choice between
Heal or survival.
heal or survival. So you said I don't get a minus, so I have apprentice and heal. I would ignore apprentice, but that means now heal or survival would be the same for me because I'm not trained in either. So it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
I guess it would come down to the PB or IB or whatever the heck.
So remember, your bonus is not something that's factored into. The bonus is used to
right.
for contested chains, and it's used for the results of some things. It doesn't go
Okay.
into the actual bonus of your skill itself. Your
Right.
stat
Okay.
doesn't change. It's just the bonuses apply for certain things.
Right. Okay. Well, my intelligence is higher, so I guess I'll go with heal.
Heal, sure. So this will be, unfortunately, again, at an arduous level because of how
Yeah.
brutally you guys are
Yeah,
bushwhacking.
fair enough.
Nice roll, though. Hell yes.
Good job.
So you guys all eat 1 day's worth of provisions for each day of the trip. So you guys had enough to get to Black Tower. You guys are not going to run out of food when you get there. So
Cool.
well done, Tagwin.
Nice.
You then need to make, because of the length of this, another endure check. So would you each give us a... Oh, and this is actually, forgive me, this is survival or toughness.
Survival or toughness for all of us.
For all of you, yeah.
And that's arduous again.
That is arduous again, unfortunately, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's
know,
a
right?
reason, like, the way you guys are going to get to Black Tower is where nobody else would think to go. Critical fail from Emrys. That's not the first time that you've suffered a critical fail on one of these rolls, I think, Emrys. So,
Wow.
all right, so let's get the first, the non-critical fails done first here. First off, is anybody going to spend a fortune to re-roll? Criticals you cannot, unfortunately.
I was going to say with the number I have to beat, no.
No?
I can't. I mean,
I got a 1 and 5. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. Screw it.
well, you know what occurs to me? It is 10:42.
Yeah?
Can't take him with us.
Yep.
Andrew always be watching that clock.
Oh,
Because Andrew got a 5 a.m. wake up. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, right, Roger that. Roger that.
So Canyon failed. You go ahead and re-roll their Tagwin. And it'll be arduous. Looks like you used...
I use toughness
Toughness.
because it's my brawn is 5 points higher. So for what it's worth, exact same. Well, not exact same.
Okay. But it's not a crit either. It's not crit fail. So, all right. So here, Canyon. 16.
oh, excellent. That's like another 3 levels, probably.
I told y'all the dreams were bad.
Naldo.
Oh, no, it's only 2. Okay, thank God.
22.
Oh my God, Kevin. Okay, so that would be, I'm currently at imperiled.
So again, we compare it fresh each time. What the threshold
Okay, so
tells
that
us.
would only be, so that would be 1, 2, So that would be 2 more. So that would be ignore 2 skill ranks.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay, so you're just getting further down. Yeah, it's something I like about it. Is like even when you suffer a shit ton of peril, sometimes it's only 1 or 2 steps more, right? So
Especially when you're a novice or you're not an advanced character.
Exactly.
It's not near as bad because at most you're losing 10.
yeah, I really like that mechanic. Like there's an effect from it, but you're not in like a death spiral the way you are with some other things. For Tagwin, an 11.
So that would be the first level of it.
Okay, so just one more down. And then so critical failure for Emrys.
What is that look like?
That is 3d10 plus 3.
Oh, you're going to be incapacitated.
Could be 6.
18. It's not as bad. 18's what, 2 or 3?
Only 2.
Nice.
19 is my third threshold. So
now, before we get to your
but I'm still incapacitated.
Are you incapacitated? How many of you? Oh yeah, because you started.
I started in peril. I took 2 from Will's check, and now I took another 2, so I'm incapacitated.
Okay, hold on.
Just gassed.
Can you
Can I use a fate point to avoid peril damage?
Oh, you could. Yeah, if you choose to. Yeah, absolutely. The fate points are extremely flexible, and it just means that you will be flipping at the start of next session to see if you get it back. But let's just see something first. All right, so the condition threshold, your peril threshold. How many are you down? Are you at incapacitated right now?
Yes, I would be with this.
So you're not unconscious. It just means no skill test yet you make can succeed. So this is where you could spend a fate point, ignore those 3 levels that you just got, or restore all of your conditions back. I'm fine with that. Like spending fate is not a small thing because you might not get it back next session.
Right.
I'm going to spend fate. You tell me what that does for my peril threshold.
Sure.
Otherwise, be incapacitated.
Let me take a look here. So, because I was going to take a look and see if there are actual rules for it, and then I'll make up stuff if I need to. Okay, fate. Here we go. Because fate's even like some of the examples they've given before are like so and so doesn't see me. Full stop, right? Like you just declare something in the fiction and spend your fate point. Let's see here. You spend your fate point, you'll get all of your condition threshold. Your condition thing is back to level 1. So, like, clear your peril threshold. Tell us what it is, Emrys, that prompts you or motivates you to... Is it listening to Nitzer Ebb? Because that certainly works for me.
That definitely gets you up.
No, I think it's he's going up the mountain, and he's just getting going uphill and through the bush, and we're not following a path, and he's getting really tired. It's just wearing on him, and all of a sudden he's like ready to just give up. So it's like his mental is starting to erode, and he just kind of gets this like Gran talking to him in his ear saying, "Why are you doing this all the hard way? Why don't you just rely on the skills you learned when you were younger?" And he's like, "What?" And then he's like stops and looks around and then he realizes like, this isn't nearly as hard as it should be. Like, why am I mentally making everything more difficult for myself? He just kind of shakes his head and he's like, okay, I'm gonna listen to what Gran says, and he pushes on and everything's good.
So even though Naldo, you've been leading sort of the way here, maybe Emrys, as the weariness of travel is weighing heavily on all of you guys, you can see Emrys sort of like skip up a trail, in a switchback kind of way, and manages to get ahead of you guys. He's heartened again. And let me see if I've loaded this already. Where's my terrible monster? Just a totally innocuous hill. Where's my picture of a totally innocuous hill?
Where's my lawful good fanged dragon?
All right. I don't...
That was the Trailblazer and the Quartermaster?
That was the Trailblazer and the Quartermaster. Yeah, you guys only have one thing left, but this is when we will be running into that most dreaded of opponents, the scripted encounter.
Oh my god, box text, run!
Even worse, this is such shit that I've written, so...
I'm sorry,
run twice.
No way to avoid this.
So here's what you guys... that's not the level I want that on. That is. And we'll put you guys down here. And I need to update... Oh, actually, I don't need to update your momentum because you guys will be resetting to max next session.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's been several days worth of travel, and you're passing through a region that is seems to be a valley between some of these. The peaks aren't quite as high as maybe in the illustration, but they certainly feel that way. You've had no sign of anybody, for 2 days of travel. There's no sign that any person has been traveling in this region, which may be because of the way that Naldo is taking you, or it could be this simply that no one ventures this deep into the Iron Shale Hills and its primordial forests. It's one of the reasons why this is a safe route for you. You will not run into another army or outriders or similar, threats. And it is on that late in that second further day of travel when you do come across what looks to be a hunting trail. It doesn't look like something that is traveled by dozens of people or whatnot, but I think just with you're trained in survival, are you not, Emrys?
Yep. And he currently has his bounty hunter talent on, which is an extra +10. Awesome.
So what you see, you come across this and recognize it as a trail. And I think just to give the others a bit of a rest, because you can tell Canyon, Naldo, and Tagwin are all... How much down are you guys each?
Almost incapacitated.
Are we talking about peril?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 2 more to go for...
Yeah, I'm with Andrew. 2 more to be incapacitated.
Yeah, so you can tell that the others, Emrys, are just... They're not used to this kind of conditions. Tagwin is barely hanging on, leaning on her staff at some points. Naldo has stumbled a couple of times. And Kenyon, as much as he's trying to put on a brave face, his arm seems as if it is the end of a pendulum where his shield hangs. It's so heavy. And you follow this trail down. It's a little more... it's a little easier to follow, and you're able to get down into this valley. And you get to this clearing here, and what's not in the illustration, and which, Naldo, you recognize, is a cabin.
Oh.
This is about a day and a half travel out from Black Tower, which means whoever's here is really living in the woods. Hunters, perhaps. For someone to have built a cabin, it likely means that it's someone living out here, as opposed to, a resort or hunting, kind of...
Like a hunting lodge or something like that.
And Naldo, though it has been a long couple of days, and you guys have otherwise just dreamt of the Black Tower, you recognize that cabin. Would you click on your, I can't remember what your human trait is, your touched thing?
Oh, the touched one? Yeah, sure.
Would you mind clicking on that? I can't remember what, yeah. Would you give us an awareness check here, please, at easy? And you can flip to success on this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So setting aside however you feel about the cabin being a place of that you've seen in your dream, so like that's got to feel a little eerie, you can feel a coldness. Make sure to change your condition monitor there, Emrys, because it's showing you as incapacitated. Yes, that's a good call. That would play. I was thinking about that, Dave. I wasn't sure if that or how that triggered. What's your awareness? Your percentage? Never mind. I don't need to know.
Okay, it was that bad, huh?
It was that bad. There's no number you could roll that could or score you could have that could possibly help with that. Naldo, you can see it and you can feel that there is just something. It is not the same as what you felt or what you were exposed to in Carrick, but there is something off.
Can I see that door is broken like it was in my dream?
Exactly as it is in your dream.
So I'm going to assume that probably Emrys is right in front of me, close to in front of me.
Yep.
Probably the closest I can reach, and I think he reaches out his hand and grabs his shoulder.
So you turn around, and Naldo suddenly has what? Tell Emrys, what's the expression on Naldo's face?
Pale. He's pale. His eyes are wide, and he points at the cabin. He was like, "That was in my dream." It's not right there.
It's odd.
What I will tell you all, if you are able to do a rekindling in that cabin, it would count as a safe place, meaning you recover 2 levels of damage, and you recover, I believe it's all the levels of your condition monitor.
Sure, but that if is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Something to consider over the next 7 days.
If the cabin was not a threatening place.
All right.
Next, he's gonna start with. We're gonna walk in there, and he goes, "Hey guys, did I mention? It's kind of odd. Did it have chicken feet before?"
That's right. George will be joining next week, so.
I can try.
Then, for those listening, so everyone gets 1 RP as well. So if you want to advance something again, please feel free to do so. For those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for Chapter 6 of our Truth in Ashes adventure. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the outstanding game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server. All of us are active there, and we have a channel dedicated to Powered by Zweihander Games. Did I post these characters? I can't remember. Did I write these characters up in a PDF? I think I did.
I don't. Maybe.
I don't even remember. Like, it's just, my goodness. Let's see.
At what point can you go up to another tier?
That is a good question.
I'm running out of class skills and things to take.
Yeah, it's on page. Well, here's the neat thing, too. When you go up a tier, you can choose which path to go on. You can continue on your path, and there are certain things that have requirements for you to have, like, 2 levels in it or 2 tiers in your path, but you can choose to go into a different path when you get to a new tier. Going up a tier is on, let's see here. I think it's before the talents and skills and such. I thought it was... where are you?
Maybe I'll just train in toughness because that seems to be important. Is there a willpower one?
That is conviction.
Conviction?
I think that's what it's called.
Maybe I'll just skip going up a tier and I'll just get willpower and toughness and conviction.
Okay, so for advancing tiers is on page... or advancing, here we go. Spending reward points is on page 91. And I'll take a look. I can't remember offhand how much. It's when you reach a certain... You've spent a certain amount of RPs on all things. You guys would have gained about 5 so far, I think, right? 5 or 6?
If you've been here for all of them, I believe it's 6.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's chapter 6 today. So there'll be 6 things. I'll take a look. Let's see here. I do know that when you advance tiers, we go through with threading. There's some things we haven't been I haven't been paying attention to, like your harmony and discord and so forth. I think it's 22 RP is to move to the intermediate tier.
Oh.
So we got a ways. You got lots of stuff to spend. So for those listening at home, we have the channel. The reason I was thinking is I couldn't remember if I had posted character sheets for these characters, and I must not have if I haven't put together a character sheet for them. But there is a channel dedicated to Zweihander, and it's powered by Zweihander games like Blackbirds. Over there, you are more than welcome to join us. There's a bunch of other channels like Finding a Group, and most of the campaigns and games we run on the channel. There's GM discussion, virtual tabletop advice. There's a terrific, friendly, and knowledgeable community over there, so you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. If they don't have something in stock in their extensive catalog, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MUSERMASHUP, all caps, all one word, and you'll save yourself 10% on your purchase. That'll change at the end of September, so if you're listening to this after that time, come back to one of our more recent videos, and you'll see it posted. Whatever the current discount code is will be listed there. There is also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising campaign we run on the channel. It benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really incredible organization, active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. All donations through that link go directly to them. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. It just goes to help out the kids who benefit from their services. And it's a small way of saying thank you to our generous donors. If you have donated $25 or more since the start of the year, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel and cast your vote. Well, actually, you can't right now. You will be able to vote. If you've donated since January 1st, 2024, you will be able to vote on the remaining 4 mashup sessions we have as charity sessions for the remainder of the year. We have this weekend, the first of our mashup sessions, and our generous donors have voted on us taking the classic Expedition to the Barrier Peaks module and playing a version of it with Modifius Entertainment's 2D20 Acton Cthulhu. So we have a bunch of partisan agents who will be operating in one of the more unconventional theaters of war. And we'll be playing through a version of the Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. We have 4 more sessions that will be mashups of classic modules with new games that were not designed to be played with. And if you donated $25 or more since the start of the year, head on over to the Charity Initiatives channel on the Dungeon Musings Discord server starting this weekend. And you'll be able to start voting on what game we're going to use, and what kinds of heroes we're going to be playing. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart flock. So, Jeffrey, Will, Dave, and Andrew, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. Congratulations for successfully exhausting yourselves once again as you are going along. Oh, and we got to make sure we write down Amris needs to flip fate. I think the chances of Dave joining us on vacation next week is getting more remote. We'll be back in the Iron Shale Hills in Elkland in 1 week's time. But until then, we hope that we gave you an hour or so of time to take your mind off the troubles of our world, almost 2 hours, off the troubles of our world, and think about the troubles that our stalwart flock of Blackbirds are encountering as they are following their vision to hopefully a place of sanctuary. When has that ever gone wrong? And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.
See ya.